Matthew 24 and verse 32. The fig tree. Exactly what does Jesus Christ mean when he brings forth this parable? Illustration, if you would. He spake to them in parables. Verse 32. And we are in the Dake Annotated Reference Bible. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, the young fig tree, and putteth forth leaves, when it begins to grow, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Talking about all the events of Matthew 24 and the second coming of Christ and the time of Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation. Now he says, don't hear a parable. He says, learn a parable. Now, when you learn something, it's like when I set out to learn to play the guitar. What did I have to do? I had to learn chords to learn to play. If you call what I do playing. But this is what's put forth here. You've got to learn the parable. Now, in our day and time, and since Israel became a nation again in 1948, Israel has been God's time clock. And as we shall see as we go on down through here, it can be preached that way, it can be understood that way, and it is most universally accepted that this fig tree mentioned here in Scripture is Israel, the nation of Israel. However, is that the true meaning? We've got some parallel scriptures which you could look up if you want to. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. The subject of the parable is a fig tree. When his masculine branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Verse 34, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. That's Jesus speaking to the people of his generation. But today, we put forth as the generation that saw the coming into existence of the nation of Israel in 1948. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Many today believe we don't have God's holy word. I believe that's a lie of the devil. Some tell you have to take it all the way back to the Greek. Only problem is we have no real original Greek manuscripts anymore. So we're going to look at what Brother Dake has to say about the fig tree. We're going to go to note P. First, the 5 parables in Matthew 24:25. The fig tree illustrating the nearness of his return. Verses 32 and 33. Last 5 parables in Matthew. Q. Note Q. Fig. It is universally interpreted to mean the Jewish nation, but this could not possibly be the meaning. Just like a fig tree, and Luke, which we saw in the parallel passages up here, adds, and all the trees, not just the fig tree, but all the trees. 21 through 29, chapter 21, verse 29. Putting forth its leaves indicates that summer is near. So likewise, the signs of verse 4 through 26 indicate the nearness of Christ's coming. This is all that is meant, so to use a few fig leaves to represent certain events of Israel is just as unscriptural as to pick a few oak leaves to represent truths about the Gentile. So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Note R. It. The second advent, not the rapture, which is not once referred to in Matthew 24 and 25. Chapters 24 and 25. There are no signs of the rapture, for it itself is one of the greatest signs of the second event. There are no prophecies to be fulfilled before the rapture, for it could have taken place any time in the past or can take place any time in the future without any sign of prophecy coming to pass. Titus 2:13, Philippians 3:21. All signs of the coming of Christ point to the second advent, not the rapture. There will be 2 events, 2 Thessalonians 2:7 and the note. The rapture is not the second event, nor one phase or stage of it, for Christ does not come to the earth at that time. He meets the saints in the air and takes them back to heaven. Scripture references. The saints stay in heaven with him for those years and then return to earth at the second advent. Scripture references. Note S. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. The last generation living on earth at the time all these things will be fulfilled. Always use a particular span of life, not a race of people. This proves that all these things will be fulfilled in one generation only, and not in several of them. The fig tree. I've heard it all my life that it is the nation Israel of which he speaks, but it is the state of readiness of which he speaks. Pray about it. Get into your word. Check these other verses of Scripture out too. God bless you from Kentucky is my prayer.